Hey, how's it going? This is Ryan Menz, MSP for Georgia Tech. And speaking with student developers about Global Game Jam this weekend, I was surprised to find how many of us are still stuck on MonoDevelop as our script editor for Unity. While it's gotten the job done, it forces you to switch back to the Unity editor to check the console for errors, and when trying to tweak or debug, you're constantly having to bounce back and forth to read output, and it's just no bueno. At best, this is annoying, and at worst, it's detrimental to your workflow. Visual Studio Community has been packaged with the Unity installer since 5.2, and VS Tools for Unity allows Visual Studio to integrate directly with the Unity editor. 5.3 just released, so you can grab Visual Studio when you update, or if you already have VS installed, you have the option to download Visual Studio tools for Unity instead. However, if you're starting fresh or want to customize your Visual Studio installation, you can grab everything separately from this site, and I'll put a link in the description. After everything's good, you just have to set Visual Studio as your default editor in Unity via Edit, Preferences, External Tools. If everything's hooked up, you'll see a note at the bottom of Unity's About window. The ability to see errors without the need to flip-flop is in itself a huge quality of life improvement, plus you have the debugging tools of a full IDE. You can also grab extensions to add new features easily. I'm a big fan of code alignment, which lets you organize your code for readability, also really satisfies my OCD. And if you're a Git user, you'll find Open Command Line especially useful, having shortcuts when you right-click folders in your project hierarchy, including PowerShell. Out of the box, Visual Studio gives you the ability to insert skeleton code for behaviors by either pressing Ctrl-Shift-M and choosing from a list, or Ctrl-Shift-Q and typing one in yourself. Both of these commands are available from the right-click menu too. And if you ever need to double-check the Unity reference, you can do so by highlighting what you want to look up and pressing Ctrl-Alt-M followed by Ctrl-H. Source control is super important too, so I'll show you how to set up your project on GitHub. I'm most familiar with the Windows GUI version, but the process follows if you prefer command line. First, create your repository. GitHub offers a pre-made git ignore file which will prevent you from sharing the files that Unity generates locally. Once you're done, add your teammates as contributors and clone the repo to your machine. Then create your Unity project and save it in a location outside of the repo. Once you're into the editor, there's a few settings to change. Go to Edit, Project Settings Editor, and under Version Control, choose Visible Native Files. And in Asset Serialization, choose Force Text. Now save your project. It's okay to save your current scene beforehand if you'd like. Then go into your project's folder, grab everything you see, and drop it in your local repo folder. Commit, sync, and when everything's done, it's safe for your team to clone and start contributing. Two caveats worth mentioning. If you use GitHub with a free account, your repo will be public. Second is merge conflicts. Unity now has a smart merge tool that is fairly easy to set up with this, but I've personally had mixed successes, so for the purpose of the game jam it may be best to stick to the old rule of thumb, which is to make sure only one person is editing a scene at a time. I'll have a follow-up video on this with some alternatives. Thanks for watching, check out Dave Voyles' blog which is linked below for more extensions, and if you're a tech student, be sure you're part of Microsoft at Georgia Tech on Facebook.